Cantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Choosing Theo by Victoria Eveline, narrated by Stephen Dexter. Chapter 1. 2 a.m. Jade groaned. She had to be up for work in 6 hours. Why do I do this to myself?
Hello friends, my name is Alexis and welcome to my 48-hour Romantasyathon readathon vlog. So it's now Friday evening, almost 9 p.m. to be exact, and we have started out the first day of this readathon very strong. I have already almost finished an entire book today. You would have seen in the clips from this morning. I ended up starting the audiobook for Choosing Theo by Victoria Eveline. And wow, I cannot believe I'm about to come on the internet and tell you how much I am enjoying an alien smut book. So in preparation for this readathon, I took a look at the prompts that I had left, and I've actually been able to narrow it down to I only need to read 3 more books to cross everything out. Already on my TBR was The Book of Azrael by Amber v. Nicole, which is the Who Did This to You book club pick for July. So that was getting read anyways. And then after that, I had 2 that were really making it difficult for me to find something. I had a sci-fi book and a standalone left. And I was a little lost. So I ended up looking online for like alien romance books. And besides the Ice Planet Barbarian series, I saw Choosing Theo pop up a lot. Yes, I have already read the first book in the Ice Planet Barbarians. It was better than expected, but not good enough that I wanted to continue the series. I ended up looking it up on Goodreads, and a lot of my friends actually gave it 4-star ratings. So I've never heard about this book, but I was instantly intrigued. So this one is about a woman named Jade, and she's a human. She lives on Earth. And one night she is in bed and she gets abducted by aliens. And when I tell you, this book went from 0 to 100 so fast, and I love that in romance books that know that you don't want to waste your time in the beginning with a whole setup. Just get to the action. I'm so happy that on page 1, she was abducted by aliens and the action just really started from there. So she gets abducted and they're kind of like these reptilian alien people. They don't speak her language. They just lock her up in a cage. They give her food and water a few times a day, and that's really it. She doesn't know why she was kidnapped, and she doesn't know where they're taking her. So that's until she gets pushed into a little tiny pod spaceship, only big enough for one person, and sent out the air chute or whatever it's called on spaceships, and she ends up crash landing on this whole new planet, doesn't know why she's there or what's going on. Thankfully, she really lucked out and won the lottery with the planet she was sent to. If I was in her shoes, I would not be too upset about going to this planet. So she soon figures out that this planet that she has landed on, they basically worship women. So this planet is inhabited by very humanoid aliens. Physically, they look basically the same. The men and women are a little bit taller than the people on Earth, but the way they're described, Jade looks like them. They end up finding a way to communicate. They have little translator thingies that they put in their ears and they can speak, so that's lucky. And they're a very advanced planet. They actually label themselves as a category 2, and they say Earth is a category 4, which is a less advanced planet. So they're much further along in scientific discoveries. It's just a very nice planet from what I am gathering. And so yeah, the only problem is there are a lot more men on the planet than there are women. The ratio is super, super off. And then almost every time a baby is born, it is also male. So like things are really, really off on the planet. They're really struggling to have like an equal number of men to women ratio. So yeah, the men worship women on this planet because there are so few of them. They need to really impress them to get them to mate with them. Men on this planet actually like go to school to be a good husband. Like there's cooking classes, how to take care of children, giving your wife a massage classes. Like it's kind of ridiculous, but I'm living for the ridiculousness of it. Like it's just making for a really good book because I love when a man is a simp for a woman, and that's exactly what's happening. So she ends up getting taken in by some people on this planet. They're very helpful and accepting. Like it's just a nice planet to land on. Everybody's very nice to her. The only downside is they say that since she now knows that aliens exist, she's not allowed to return back to Earth, and she's free to leave the planet, but first she has to marry one of their men for 3 months to kind of learn their customs and stuff. Like this is just the law they've made for people who visit the planet. It's a little silly, but like I get that we're trying to set up a marriage of convenience, and this was like the way the author did it, so I'll look past that. So as you can kind of guess from the title, she ends up choosing a man named Theo as her husband, and that's another thing. The women have like full choice of who their husbands are, and the men can refuse, but like they usually wouldn't want to because there are so few women. Like you're very lucky if you do get chosen. So she ends up choosing a man named Theo, and it is hilarious because Theo is like a super muscular, super badass, scarred, tattooed daddy, and on that planet all those marks on his skin are like really disgusting. They do not like them at all. They've kind of shunned him, and none of the women have ever picked him or been interested in him. So when he gets chosen by Jade, he's like very jaded about it. He right away thinks it's a joke just to like make fun of him. And so at the beginning, he's very, very grumpy to her sunshine, but just quickly turns around and ends up completely obsessed with Jade. And I'm loving this book. I have to check how far I am. I'm already 83% of the way in, and I listened to this all today while working. It is a pretty short audiobook. It's only like 8.5 hours. I would have kept going, but I did take a break to watch the finale of Drag Race. I'm very happy with who won. If you know, you know. And I had some pizza for dinner, and now, as much as I want to keep reading this because I'm in love with these characters, I think I'm going to switch over to reading the Book of Azriel, as I know this is the longest book that I have on the TBR this weekend, so I'd really like to get at least 33% of the way into it today and hopefully finish it by Sunday night. And I just want to start reading before I get too tired. I would read the synopsis to you, but I've read it a few times already, and like even in my TBR video, and I'm confused. I don't really understand it, so I'm hoping once I get into it, I'll understand it more and be able to tell you what the story is about. So yeah, hold there for the synopsis, but yeah, that is the plan. So I will check in with you either when I have some thoughts about the Book of Azriel or when I finish choosing Theo. again. I have some updates for you. We had a very relaxing morning so far. You would have seen I went to a coffee shop. I read more of Book of Azrael on my Kindle, and then on the way back to the car, we passed a farmer's market that they were having in the park. So I made a little flower bouquet at a pick your own flower stand, and it was so cute. And yeah, so now we are home. And the plan for today is to continue reading, but before I get too much farther into the Book of Azrael, I wanted to give you an update. Oh my god, and I finished my audiobook. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about. First, this is why I don't have flowers in the house. Kit's already eating them. They just need to be next to me at all times so I can monitor Kit so she doesn't eat them. Okay, what was I saying? These animals are just really trying to ruin everything for me. No. Okay, well, because Poe was gonna open this, I guess I'll start with this. I got some very exciting mail today, not bookish related, but my other obsession that I have. Oh my god, is it double bagged? Ooh. This is the original Taylor Swift folklore cardigan that I missed out on buying the first time, but it has since become back in stock. It is so soft. I have the red version of this, like for the album red. It's not red. The stars are red, but the cardigan itself looks like this. And I feel like it's not as soft. I almost never wear it, like one, because I don't want to ruin it, and two, because it's a little scratchy. This is very soft. Cute. It is way too hot for me to wear it right now, but I guess I'll try it on. Oh, it's so cute. It's really, really soft. Okay, so very excited about that. Next up, why we're actually here, books. So I have finally made it to 33% of the Book of Azrael. I know that was the goal yesterday, but this book is longer and harder to get into than I expected, but we're gonna power through. Like I said, goal for today is just big reading day, so I'm still hopeful that we can make it to 66%. So I finally feel like I'm kind of understanding the plot. It's been a little bit confusing, but we're getting there. So basically, our main character, Diana, is this like magical creature that I don't know how to pronounce their name, so I'm going to pop it up here. Basically, her sister died or was almost going to die. We haven't gotten like the full backstory, but just she basically sold her soul to become one of these creatures to save her sister's life. So she is now in debt to like this dark prince of like basically the underworld, named Caden, and he is very, very ruthless and vicious and just like abusive. And he's kind of like the king of all these creatures. He turned her into this creature, and so she is now in debt to him, and she is his weapon. She has the ability to shapeshift, and she has like flame ability. She can like shoot fire out of her hands, and she's just a badass main character, but she's being controlled by Caden. If she were to ever go against him and not do what he said, he would hurt her sister. And they're also lovers, so it's very messy and abusive and just a bad situation overall. So we start out the story getting this introduction to Caden. He is kind of holding this meeting of all these magical creatures. It was very cool to like have them introduce everybody in this grand hall. There was like the group of vampires, the witches, the werewolves, there were banshees, there were some other like really cool, creepy, there's something called like a dream eater, like a lot of things that I haven't actually heard of before. So just a lot of creepy magical creatures. They all kind of look to Caden as their king, essentially. So Caden's goal in this story is to find something called the Book of Azrael, and as far as I'm understanding it, I hope that I'm on the right track. This book will give Caden the ability to kind of like open the gates and let these kind of evil creatures back into the human world. He doesn't like that they have to stay hidden and they're kind of banished because these people called the Hands, kind of hunt them. Like Diana's species is not supposed to exist. In my head, this makes more sense. I'm not doing a good job describing it. Just know that it's a pretty complex urban fantasy world that we're getting ourselves into, but I'm understanding it enough to like the story. I'm liking it, but not loving it. I do really, really love Diana's character. So that's the other thing. I was getting more into the story because we were following Diana, and she is such a badass. Like, the fight scenes, incredible. And then we started switching perspective to Liam, who he's mentioned in the synopsis. He's like the good guy to Caden's bad guy, I think. Again, like, don't come to me for synopsi. I'm just here to tell you if I like the story or not. So we have met Liam, and I don't like his chapters. Like, the last, like, 15% to get through was annoying, because I just want to be back in Diana's mind. I am rooting for her. I'm kind of here for her being like the bad guy in this. I suspect that she's going to change ways because Caden is very toxic, and she is going to join forces with Liam to take Caden down. Probably, maybe. So, yeah. A little disappointing because, like, not that I was rooting for Caden because he is not a good person. I liked following the villain of the story, so that's the update on that. And then I did end up finishing on our driving around today, Finding Theo. I'm gonna go with a 4-star rating for that one. Unfortunately, it ended with my least favorite trope in romance books, but like, I kind of saw it coming. So I'm sure it won't be that hard for you to figure it out, but I won't spoil anything here. And even with that being the trope that it ended with, like, I still really, really enjoyed the story. I still liked the characters a lot. Theo had a little bit of anger issues that he needs to work on, but it was kind of discussed in the story why he was reacting that way and kind of freaking out anytime a man so much as looked at Jade. But yeah, I thought it ended up being really sweet. Just like the spicy scenes were A+, 5 out of 5 chili peppers. Great job overall. It was a fun time. And I'm excited to finally be able to check off the sci-fi prompt because I did not know what I was going to use for that one. So that's done. And then last up, I kind of mentioned this last night, but I didn't actually tell you what I was reading for it. I told you I had the prompt of a standalone left, so I have decided to throw an Enchantment of Ravens on the TBR. There's something sticky on it because I had it sitting on the floor, so that's wonderful. I'm gonna have to wipe all this cat hair off. But yeah, this is by Margaret Rogerson. I read Sorcery of Thorns, is that her other one? I read that one a few years ago, liked it. Not like my favorite book I've ever read, but I like her writing, I like her magical worlds. They just feel very cozy and whimsical, so I'm hoping this one will be the same. And y'all know I'm a big fan of ravens, so already bonus points there. And yeah, so right now I'm warm, so I'm gonna go get changed into some shorts, put the fan on, and sit on my couch and read. I think I'm gonna start this one. Try and get like 100 pages in and then maybe switch back to Book of Azrael. Oh wow, this one's short. It's only 297 pages. So yeah, this is definitely feasible that I finish the whole thing today. I'm gonna go do that and I will talk to you in a little bit. it is a lot later. It is 11 p.m., but I have now finished An Enchantment of Ravens. I know I could have done a better job with checking in with you, but I got really wrapped up and ended up actually planning, like start to finish, filming the video and everything for my August reading journal setup, which I actually screen recorded myself drawing my cover page. So you would have seen that already. I will link August's below because I'm pretty sure that'll be up before this one. But yeah, so I ended up switching over to the audio for An Enchantment of Ravens, which incredible audiobook. It's narrated by Julia Whalen, one of my favorite audiobook narrators around. And yeah, I just listened to the entire thing in one sitting. Now I'm coming in to update my summer Romantasyathon bingo board that is looking stunning. We are so close to finishing it. I really think this weekend we're gonna do it. So I didn't actually tell you what I filled in for choosing Theo, but I will do that now. So that counted for 3 prompts. It counted for sci-fi, fast burn, and forced proximity. And then this one is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson is going to count for a standalone. I am being a little bit delusional because I have not read any more of the Book of Asriel, and it's a big boy. I have my work cut out for me. So I need to actually finish up what I'm doing here and get to that because it's getting late, and you all know when I read late at night, I fall asleep very quickly. So hoping to get a lot more of that done. I did not hit 66%. I'm still at 33%, which was the goal of yesterday. And then tomorrow, we do have the whole day to finish it, but I actually have a very busy day planned out. I am going to a Renaissance festival. I've gone every year for the past 3 years, I want to say. And it's always a really, really good time. I just love any sort of event where I get to dress up in a costume. That is why Halloween is my holiday. But yeah, it's the pirate theme weekend. We ended up going to the pirate weekend last year too, and it just worked out that this is when we could go again. I have a brand new outfit this year. I'm really excited to show off my outfit. I will show you tomorrow. I am too tired right now. So all that being said, I do have some time in the car tomorrow. It's a 2-hour drive there and then a 2-hour drive back. But I'm going with a car full of my friends, so I'm not too confident a ton of reading will get read. That's why, like, I don't want to leave it all for tomorrow and then, like, having to stay up tomorrow night. And I guess I could extend this into Monday, but, like, it's a weekend readathon. So, yeah, if I have to, I will extend this into Monday. But I'm rambling now because I'm tired. So I need to go read. So I am going to fill in the box for An Enchantment of Ravens, and then yeah, I probably won't update you anymore tonight unless something wild happens in Book of Asriel. I am just going to go read until bedtime, and then I will see you tomorrow as a pirate. Good morning. It is the next day, so I think it's pretty obvious that I did not get to complete the book yesterday within the 48-hour readathon, but that's okay because I made very good progress, a lot better than I actually thought I would do. I brought my Kindle with me and I actually ended up downloading the audiobook from Audible. Don't think I would recommend the audiobook because Liam's voice sounds like it's voiced by like a 12-year-old boy. He's supposed to be this like sexy, dark god prince figure. I don't know. It just does not match the image that he's supposed to be having in the book, and all I can think when he is speaking is that it's a little kid now. So that was definitely taking me out of the story, and I think my enjoyment went down. As soon as they stopped being like enemies at each other's throats and started like getting along and flirting, I was bored. I don't know. I liked it a lot more when Diana was the bad guy. I feel like I would have preferred to follow the book from like Diana and Caden's point of view. Not that I like Caden's character, but I just feel like he was way more interesting than Liam. I don't know, maybe it's me liking the villain. Like, I definitely don't think Diana should have stayed with Caden. He was very evil. But, like, I don't know, maybe just a story of her, like, taking over as, like, the queen of the underworld and, like, taking over his job and still being evil. So that's what I would have preferred, I think. So yeah, I'm at 80%, if I didn't already say that, chapter 42, and I will definitely be finishing it this morning. I have some time to listen while I work today. And then, yeah, we will wrap this up and get to finish Romantasyathon. So yeah, just not loving it as much, but looking forward to finishing it and crossing off my last prompts. So besides that, you would have seen I had so much fun at the Renaissance Festival yesterday. It is like one of my favorite things that we do every year, and even though it was very, very hot, I think it got up to 90 degrees yesterday. So at the end of the day, we were all exhausted and so tired from walking around in the hot sun. So we got food on the way home, and then I came home and I fell asleep immediately, so I did not read anymore. If I had continued reading into the night, I probably could have finished this, but I was tired. I ended up sleeping 9 hours last night. It was so nice. So I am going to get to work, and I will check in with you when we finish the book, I guess. I made it to the first spicy scene. And then immediately after, there was a second spicy scene, and I just do not care at all. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of grossed out by Liam. Maybe it's like the 12-year-old voice that the narrator has, but like, I'm skipping forward and skipping these scenes. Not a fan. I just kind of want this book to end at this point.
Acknowledgements. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the readers. The fact that you even wanted to pick up this book means the world to me. Thank you. And
I did it. I just finished the audio for the Book of Azrael. Why was that book so long? For what reason? Very happy to be done with it. I think final rating, I'm gonna have to go with a 2-star. I was just so bored for most of it. Maybe it's a me thing because a lot of people really like this book. Like, it was on so many recommendation lists for romantasy books. So, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Like I've said before, I liked the villain more. I will say the ending picked up. It got very interesting. Like, I liked that a lot more. If we had more action throughout the book, maybe my rating would have been higher. And that last sentence, to leave on a cliffhanger like that, wow. I don't think I'll be continuing the series, but I might have to look up like spoilers for the next, I think there's 4 books in this series, for the next books, just because like I want to know what happens. I know that the ending of this book is going to have a big impact on Diana. Okay, yeah, less of a glare. Okay, so I think the next book in the series will be way more action heavy. I even expected more for the ending. Like, nothing was really wrapped up. It's very clear that it's going to go straight into the action in the next book. And like, yeah, just wasn't for me. The positives, I did really like Diana's relationship with her sister. It was just really well written. I really liked both of their characters. I liked their love for each other, how Diana was willing to do literally anything to protect her sister. And I really liked the magical, like, underworld aspect. I wish we had gotten a lot more of it. Once we kind of moved away from Caden, like, there wasn't really that much of magical creatures. Like, Diana herself is a magical creature, but, like, I wanted more of, like, the witches and the vampires. There was a little bit here and there, but not, like, as much as I had hoped for. So, yeah. Unfortunately, 2 stars. Didn't really enjoy this book, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever read, and like there was nothing like offensive to me about it. I was just really bored and did not understand why this book was so long. With that, I think we've completed Romantasyathon. So we had 3 to complete. This is going to count for a Dark King for Caden's character, Who Did This to You book club for July, and then a Dark Fantasy. So we did it. We completed Romantasyathon. Just pretend those last 3 are colored in. Definitely could not have done this if I wasn't like double, tripling up on prompts per book. Like the people who have actually read like 36 or however many prompts there are books for this challenge, like, we are not worthy. You are gods. And yeah, could never be me. I want to send a huge thank you to ToriBetweenPages. Not that I think she'll ever watch my video. If she does, I will literally die. I am just obsessed with her, and this was such an incredible readathon to really introduce me to more fantasy romance, because I have found that I'm really enjoying that genre this year, and all of her recommendations have been great. So I'm going to continue picking up the books that she's screaming about, as should you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, why don't you leave an alien emoji for choosing Theo, because that was the most unexpected book of this video. Did not think a book that I picked up literally on a whim because I needed a sci-fi book for the prompt would be one of my new favorites. So as always, I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.